Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN. So here on HJN, let me go on ahead and talk with you guys a little bit about jobs. One thing that provides us with a sustainable income, a steady amount of money to keep us going throughout every single month, with every paycheck that comes through the mail or gets handed to us, depending on what you do, is jobs. And to this day, there still are a lot of people out there that happen to be unemployed. So let me just explain a couple things about it. For one thing, jobs themselves are not very easy to come by. And the process of applying, heading to an interview, getting yourself hired can be lengthy. But it all depends on the type of career that you have with you and whatever sorts of education that you happen to take place, as well as whatever experience happens to be upheld. But of course, the one thing that would guarantee you a great passageway into the interview would be a resume. A sheet of paper that simply depicts everything about you. It depicts you about your identity, talks about your education, it talks about why you need a specific job of any sorts, and most of all, it would talk about the types of experiences that go in line with the type of career that you've had lately and the type of job that you're looking forward to getting hired. Now, of course, with me personally, because I haven't really gone to college, all because of, well, expenses and the like, I've always had my life dedicated not only to my own business, Kaiju Force Neo, but also to a few other things. The fact that I've also managed to branch out Kaiju Force Neo beyond just having filmmaking within the back of my mind, I feel like that with all 5 branches that go around it, including reviews, filmmaking, concepts, researches and studies, which mostly tend to go with science and health. And the 5th thing about it, which is the most recent, would be lawn care. So that's 5 branches in total that encompass the business itself. And I can surely bet you that as time passes, a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th branch might all come along very soon. But when it comes to jobs in general, I've had quite a few of them throughout my time. In the last 5 years that I've simply put together a lot of things about it, I've had quite a few jobs, but many of which happen to relate to certain basic things out there, like dishwashing, cleaning up, and many other things out there. But of course, I've already talked about the fact that some of the current jobs that I happen to be working alongside any of the which that I have in Kaiju Force Neo would be the Marcus Theaters Corporation. And I also happen to be doing a little delivery service, usually with a partner, for the Marigold Marketplace. And I've been doing that in the time that's been taking place ever since the theater had been shut down because of NCOV. And of course, I've been able to rack up about $5 a delivery. But usually whenever I have a partner with me, it gets split down the center. That's $2.50 for each of us. $2.50 for me, $2.50 for the other. So of course, that can make it a little more difficult to contain, but in general, I don't really see much of a problem with that. But of course, the main thing about it is that I've been able to rack a grand total of more than $300 worth of savings, all because of this delivery process. That's about 3/4 to how much I'd get on an average paycheck in the Marcus Theaters Corporation. And considering how I haven't been there for nearly 2 months, I mean, I just don't really see much point. Because after all, URG, Urban Rural Groundskeeping, which does in fact relate to the 5th branch that I have in Kaiju Force Neo, aside from the other 4, which I've already talked about. So, apparently URG happens to utilize the best potential profit zone that I could ever utilize. And that's certainly something that I can pretty much guarantee it would be a hot spot for income that would come every month and the like. But other than all that, other than the jobs I've had, other than the jobs I might have in the future, and other than every single career that I possibly looked into, entrepreneurship and management of my own business, those are two big things that I happen to really take in, and I also happen to really cherish so much. And there's no way that I'll ever let it go. So I'm Jay Nowak. This has been HJN. And if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.